my whole phrase has always been like, your mindset should be working for you, not against you. Your head should be your safe space. Like, I leaned into it completely. I went to the dark place, and it was probably one of the most therapeutic roles I've ever been in. And there was one scene, and I didn't realize until I was in it how triggered I was, and I didn't know what to do.
What do you tell yourself on the days that self-doubt gets really loud, or it doesn't anymore? Hello and welcome to Go Is Here. I'm Anna Iris, and today I'm joined by Aisling Goodwin. She's a very talented actress, an accent coach, and a very powerful voice for mental health in the film industry and in the industry in general. So, Aisling, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And, the first question that comes in my mind, and I was wondering, because we've talked about that before, is do you feel that talent is being recognized more today? Or is it still about who you know in the industry?
Oh, that's a brilliant question. It's something I would talk about quite a bit, because it is one of the big burning questions, especially like when there's a dip in the industry or anything changes. I think the reality is, for the majority, for the most part, like let's say 90% of the time, of course, it's the talent. It's the talent. It's all about your talent, your skill, all of those lovely things. Being connected, being recognized, having those connections is massively important. And we see more of that, I think. Like, what's the expression now? Like Nepo babies or something like that. You see people who are connected, but they're very, very small percentage. And I think if all of us are quite honest to ourselves, if we had those connections, we'd use them too. So it is just another element to the industry. Absolutely, there's connected people, maybe not be the best fit for the part, but they might have a bigger profile online. That's fine, but that's one out of every 100 or whatever it is. Yes, connections are massively important. Yes, it helps some people get ahead, but underneath it all, it's always going to be about the talent.
About the talent. And how much you fit for the part, and
100%.
if you're a good fit. Yeah.
I've seen it myself, even, and like there's directors and producers who are quite honest about it. Like, they get their brief. Let's say, like, casting directors, I think, get a hard time anyway. I think they're seen as gatekeepers when they're absolutely not. Like, they're always on the side of the actors. God bless them. They get some amount of from people, but they have even the directors, they have their objective. They get given the script. They get given the character breakdown, and the criteria of that character is an image. So first and foremost, if you look like the character, they're gonna help you. Like, they're gonna assume that you can act, and then everything else is kind of after that. But if you don't look, like, I've seen people saying, I really wanted this role and I should have been in this project. Like, you look nothing like the characters. So of course you're not gonna get it. Like, I Red Sonja. Red Sonja is a new project out at the moment. I was obsessed with that, and I was like, I absolutely want to be in Red Sonja. I'm not in my 20s. I don't have like
the age ranges,
the muscles, But like, so it's about knowing. I think there's an awful lot of confusion from actors as well on what they fit, what role they fit, what their acting type is, what their acting image is.
Yeah.
And understanding that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's like, the age range, where you're at. So it's just sometimes, you want that part so badly that you just wish you looked like 20 or 30 or whatever. Yeah, I totally get that. It's just the way it is. So how much do you think social media affects whether someone gets cast or called for auditions today?
Massively. I'm quite vocal about social media for a number of reasons. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I think when you understand what social media is and you use it as part of your brand and you use it to showcase your skills and have it as a professional platform, that's one thing. But I think there's an awful lot of toxicity where people are actually looking for validation and their self-worth, and they're trying to find it on social media. So it's led to an awful lot of falseness and falsehoods and fakeness and all of that. But I think more and more and more increasingly, your social media plays a part. obviously if you've got a bigger following, you're going to have a bigger brand. You might have a bit of a leg up on other actors, whatever it is. Fair enough.
Yes.
Reality of things. Also, it's very easy for casting directors or directors to just go and look at your social media to get an understanding of what are you on social media? How do you present yourself? Because your social media is going to be a direct representative of how you are as a professional. Like what messages
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
are you putting out online? So your messages on your social media, even if it's just fun or whatever it is. Like if you're someone who likes to put out personal information about your personal life, have a separate account. But if it's a public account, it should be your business account. Like for me,
Your business account, yeah.
yeah, for me, like I don't post about my personal life. I don't have a personal Instagram. It's my business account. Like, and I do like I'll showcase some charity work on there, or I'll show like my fitness or mental health, whatever it is. It's all in the one creative platform. But there's people that will look for validation or will get sucked into thinking that that's the everyday life when it's not. Like, so it's a double-edged sword, but it is being utilized more and more by
Hmm.
casters, by directors to look at you to see how do you operate in the world, how do you conduct yourself online, because it is a big part of our industry now. There's no disputing that. If you have a bigger following, it can't hurt when it comes to getting
Yeah.
roles, could it? But it is if you're out there and you've got like a very inappropriate social media or like you're just not carrying yourself in an ethical way or a humane way or you're just causing problems, whatever it is. Of course, that's going to affect.
Numbers count, right? Like the following counts.
I think so. I believe so. Like, I mean, if I had a platform of like 50,000 followers, I don't think that's going to hurt my chances of getting a role at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
But likewise, I see there's a lot of big actors who don't have social media. They don't depend on it. But for me, I use it for exactly that reason to get my face out there, to get my brand out there, and it has
To
helped.
be able to connect with other people, with other artists, right?
It's like a public resume.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
showcase your work. So I utilize it for that. Absolutely. If someone is comfortable doing that and doing it in a healthy manner so that it's not
Healthy, yeah.
impacting your mental health, then absolutely I'd encourage it.
What kind of pressure do artists face that people from the outside might not see?
That's a brilliant question. So for
Thank
me,
you.
I love the question because for me personally, like I'm always talking about mental health. Always like I have
Um,
a
so let's talk about that because, yeah.
yeah, it's my thing. Like my whole phrase has always been like your mindset should be working for you, not against you.
Uh,
Your head should be your safe space. So on social media, people see me talking openly, like when I'm having a rough day or whatever it is, I'm talking about the things that I utilize that work for me. They're tried
mhm.
and tested, they work for me. I'm not preaching, it's just things that have worked for me. But outside of this industry, I don't think people understand the level of rejection. Like 99.9% of a creative's life is rejection.
It's rejection, yeah.
And people think, oh, it must be so much fun to be an actor. It's like being an actor and being on set is probably 10% of what I do as an actor. I got to do all the other 90% to get the opportunity to be on set for that 10%. And in all of that, you get ghosted every day. Like if you're
Huh?
emailing agents or directors, or you just hear nothing, or you apply for roles, you hear nothing back. It's not a personal thing. Like obviously
No,
they're
it's not.
busy. They're so busy. But then there's the rejections. Like you're always going to be too something. So it's like I think it was Meryl Streep was told that before. You're too this, you're too that. So you're either like too old, too short, too tall, too blonde, too brooding. Your eyes are too bright. There's always something that you're not perfect for that character that they're trying to fit. That there are things that are outside of your control. So I think it's learning to accept rejection without it crushing your soul.
Yeah, but there are those long periods of time, that you're just sitting around and trying to, keep your mind state safe. And
That's
it's,
well,
it's really tough.
that's the key. Like for example, my sister, she's in corporate and she's a tremendously successful woman and she is 9 to 5. She's that's the way we've always been. I'm the flake of the family. I have like sporadic projects here and there with no plan of what I'm doing. So winging it like half the time flying by the seam of my pants. So when we sit down, it's a really interesting dynamic within my family when we're talking about our life. My life terrifies my sister because it doesn't have the stability,
Ability. Yeah.
the constant barrage of rejection, but it's the constant unknown. where's the next job coming from? What do you
Uh-huh.
do if there's no job? Like, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay having self-belief? And whereas the flip side of that is her world terrifies me. Board meetings, like
Me
nine
too.
to
Yeah.
five. Office, I was like, no, thank you. So it's
9 to 5, yeah.
yeah,
This it sounds like a nightmare for me.
yeah. But I mean, if this industry was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would do it. It's not for everyone, and it's for that very reason that it's not for everyone. It's because you have to be comfortable and you have to be okay in
Mhm.
absolute chaos.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think actors can form healthy relationships in the industry? Do you have close friends from the industry?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of toxicity
Competition.
in this industry. Oftentimes there's a lot of time apart in this
Uh-huh.
industry, and there's there's a lot of people. So you're always going to be around different types of people. So if anyone is that way inclined, like to stray or whatever, there's a lot of opportunity. But I know a lot of couples. I know some married couples who are
Uh-huh.
actors or they're actors and directors. I myself, like my ex fiance, was a stunt performer. So we
Uh-huh.
were both in the industry for a long time, and we had a very fantastic relationship until we didn't. But it was nothing to do with the industry that caused that. It was just us as people. We outgrew one another, but we're still really, really close.
Uh-huh.
And other people that I've come through the ranks with, they've gone on to get married, they have kids, and even sometimes one person will have to take a step back from their career to focus. It's not always the mom. Like I know some dads who are stay at home because their
Uh-huh.
partner's career is doing well. So I think, I, regardless of industry, I think it's very much so about a person. It's about
It's always about the person, I think.
the person and staying grounded. I think for actors in particular, staying grounded is probably the hardest thing because when you're doing well, you're surrounded by yes people. Everything
Mm.
you do is amazing. Everything you do,
Wow.
you're right.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
when your career is not going so well, you're like a ghost to people. People won't even
Mm.
listen to you. So there's extremes, and trying to deal with those extremes and stay healthy in yourself is what's going to impact your relationship
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah. So can you share a time in the industry that really broke your heart?
Oh wow, there's so many of those. I've had quite a few. That really broke my, yes. So there was a project that I was working on, and it's one of those, it started small, became a bigger thing, and it was looking like it was going to be a career changer. And it started off with a close friend of mine. And as it went from like being indie pilot to something much, much bigger. And suddenly there was like, funding involved, all of this. And it my friendship broke down with this individual because
Oh,
the thought of fame, the thought of fortune, the thought of all this, just it quite literally changed him as a person. And things became quite toxic and quite
mm,
quite horrendous to be around, to the point that I had to walk away from the project that I'd put so much time and energy and everything into, and it ended up in a lawsuit that was spread out over 4 years because that
oh,
individual went online and made some horrendous accusations, not just about me, but about other actors on the project, and defamed us essentially. So took him to court, fought a very hard battle for 4 years. That was heartbreaking because we couldn't talk about it. We couldn't speak about it. We couldn't, obviously, then the time spent on that project, that we couldn't use the material. We still to this day can't use the material or the footage or anything. So there was a big gap in what we'd been working on. And it was the breakdown of the friendships and the lack of trust. It took me a long time to trust people again when I was working
yeah, I
with
can
them.
totally understand that because
Yeah. But it was the glitz and the glam, or the thought of this being a big project, and that I guess he thought it was going to change his life. It turned him into a different person. And
yeah, but just in the thought of, it wasn't yet, but well,
heartbreak.
imagine if it had become a big thing.
That's the thing. It would have been, like everything for a reason. I'm glad for the lessons that I learned from that whole thing, but that was heartbreaking because it was a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Do you think acting makes you more empathetic or more exposed?
Beautifully both, I think. And I think it has to be both because actors, we obviously have to be able to access our emotions at any given moment. So, sometimes they think we're robots and can just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
cry on
yeah.
cue.
Oh, now cry, please cry. No, no laugh.
Yeah, and I think this industry also attracts a certain type of person. So I think by and large we would be more empathetic, which
Hmm.
means we are more sensitive and probably more aware of other people's emotions. So we tend to want to help other people, or we want to, we are open, and that makes us more vulnerable.
Hmm.
It can make it very easy for people to get in and to hurt you. But I think it's that beautiful balance. Like this has only come from age with me and from brutal experience. But I am a very empathetic person. I am a very open person, which does kind of make me vulnerable sometimes. But I now have a bit of a shield around me. Like when I'm teaching mindset and mental health to creatives, it's about building up that shield without changing the fact that you're empathetic, because I think that's such a beautiful quality to have.
It is, yeah,
It's
yeah,
protecting your energy and yourself as well whilst remaining empathetic.
yeah. So you're an accent coach as well. So
Oh, yes.
how can an accent change the way an actor feels in a role? Do you
So,
think it changes the way?
yeah, because most of the actors I get come to me and they're like exasperated. They're like, oh no, I have a role and it's in an accent. And it's a terrifying, daunting thing because the way accents have been portrayed to us as actors is like it's this big awkward thing, and you're trying to concentrate so hard on staying in the accent.
Yeah.
It ultimately does impact your role. So the way I teach it is it's more like a physical method, because my whole thing is you want your body to do the work for you, because anything that's going to impact your performance is no good. Like we can't have that. So it's all muscular. Your mouth, your how we breathe, everything is muscular. So if we can
Hmm.
train that muscle a certain way, it becomes muscle memory. It means your body's it's like a dance. You're going to learn a new choreography essentially for your mouth. So the whole
Hmm.
idea then is
Yes.
that it's not taking away from your performance. Because I've worked with multiple actors, some big named actors, and their fear is, oh God, I have to concentrate so hard on trying to stay in this accent and remembering how it sounds. And it's really hard to do both. And to not,
It's very hard. It's
it's
very hard.
hard, it's terrifying. Like it scares so many people. So I found it like a really simple way. I found it easy because it's like I wouldn't say that I'm not a lazy person, but I will find the easiest, most efficient way to do
Can you
something.
please share it? Because
Yeah. So
I need it.
normally with accents, it's all about the phonetic alphabet, and that's a fantastic part of it, absolutely. But if you simplify that it basically means you're doing everything by ear. As
Hmm.
children, we all learn to speak. Like you hear the thing, you do the thing, but we've no idea what's happening in between. When you do the phonetics and you focus on the phonetic alphabet, the IPA, all of that, you're focusing on all that stuff. So your focus is here, you're thinking, and you're trying to make the sound come out. But your anchor in that is your ear. So if all your attention is here and you're focusing on it, you can't focus on your performance. So the way I teach it is I bridge the gap between your ear and your mouth. And it's primarily building up your awareness of the difference, the simple little differences you can make to your voice by simply changing the placement of your tongue. Like, is your tongue flat? Is it more forward in your mouth? Are you projecting your voice from the front of your mouth, from the back? Do you have a lot of space in your mouth or not? It has such a domino effect on everything, because the more air you have in your mouth, the more breath you have when you're speaking from the back. Like think like a theater performer
Uh-huh.
or a TEDx talker. Their voices are booming, so they're speaking from the back. They've got loads of air in their mouths. That means they've got a wider mouth, so that makes their tongue go flat. What that does is it takes the tenseness out of your face. So you've got a looser jaw here, so you don't use your teeth, and that means your vowel placement is going to be wider. So instead of saying like in my own accent, be like, "I am really happy today," that's going to change to "I'm really happy today." It's softer. You
It's
don't,
softer.
yeah.
And the way you open your mouth
Yes, it
in order.
changes the pronunciations automatically. It
Hmm.
changes your vowel positioning automatically just by manipulating your tongue and the breath that you have. And it
Yeah.
changes your cadence of speech and how fast you talk. But they're so subtle. The difference is it's literally your tongue, how much
Hmm.
you have access to. That's what I always work on first. And the projection. Your mouth is going to do an awful lot for you. It's going to create the echo chamber that those sounds come out of. And every accent has underlying signature sounds. So, like for example, RP, that's going to have the absent ors and the really, really sharp T's. Irish accent has heavy rhotic ors, so they kind of cast a shadow over the
Hmm.
neck. letters, and dragged T's. We also have about 5,000 different accents over here, but that's just because we love to talk so fast and we're very melodic. But those differences, once you start to fold in the signature sounds with your positioning and you anchor that accent in your body, I've seen it with actors who are absolutely petrified of doing accents. Once they can start to feel it, then you can start to forget about it. And it's your performance takes over. Your body's going to remember what it's doing like a dance, and it's going to do the accent for you. And suddenly it's
How long? How long does it usually take for an actor to, start adjusting to that accent?
it's very quick. Like usually in the first session when I'm doing it with people, I can get them to hear and feel a difference very, very quickly. So it
Mm-hmm.
just depends. Like I think as actors we tend to be a little bit more musical anyway, and we can latch on to accents a lot quicker. With non-creatives that I work with, let's say like on public speaking and things like that, I offer courses of 5 weeks with non-creatives, creatives, actors I've worked with. I've yet to get to week 5 with someone saying, no, this isn't working, I can't do it. It's
Mm.
very, very quick. Like the first session is usually quite terrifying because I'm throwing so much information at people. By
Yeah.
session 2, it's starting to take hold. By session 3, your muscle memory has changed and is changing. So you can feel the difference. Once you
But
can
it
feel
takes
it,
a lot of practice, right?
no, no,
No,
no. I actively discourage people sitting down and practicing like for
because
hours
that
at a
that
time.
was what I was thinking. Like I have to practice and practice.
No, wordplay. So I'm a natural mimic, and I think most creatives are because we tend to be a little bit musical. So I do wordplay, and it's better to learn by not reading something because then you're taking out the visual cue dependency. So
Mm-hmm.
look around a room when I'm trying to learn an accent, I'll listen to it. Like if it's on YouTube or whatever, I'll listen to someone with the accent, pick out the different dominant vowel sounds and the signature sounds, and kind of start to latch onto the melody. Then I'll do wordplay. So I'm obsessed with 2 words: water bottle. I have it even on my website for people booking lessons. I have water bottle phonetically spelled out in different accents. Because if you play with it, like if I'm doing like Orbeez, like water bottle, then my own accent, water bottle, American, water bottle. And I'll just play. And it's just playing with the sound. But as you're flipping, playing with the sounds, it's feeling that sensation. So you can fold it into your day. Like I always encourage my students, when you're in the shower, when you're in your car, if you're in the gym, whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're looking at, say
Mm-hmm.
it. Say the word. It could be like, I don't know, phone, mobile phone. Say the words. Hear it and then flip into the accent that you're trying to do. But do it that way. Wordplay is a lot stronger. Think of it like a dance. If you walked into a hall, and I don't know why I use this example because I am absolutely not coordinated in any way, shape, or form. But if you walk into a dance hall and you see a really, really complicated choreography, someone's in there like giving it socks and it's like all these mad steps to it, it's panic stations. Your body's like, I have no idea what that is. And your brain is like, I can't even keep up. The first thing that happens though, if you go again, your ear is going to latch onto the melody. When you latch onto the melody, we are natural mimics, like all people are, because we've learned to speak. Mimicry, that is how we learn to speak. So it is in there. Your body starts to kind of move a little bit differently, or your face is trying to find how can it make those sounds, but you're not aware of it. So when you're learning a new choreography, what do? You break down the steps. You learn it bit by bit by bit by bit. You
Step
might
by
have to
step.
do it, yeah, step by step. You might have to do it for a couple of sessions, maybe, within 3-4 weeks, let's say. You're doing the steps bit by bit, only in class. You're not doing it at home so much. You're doing it only in class, bit by bit. Muscle memory starts to build up. Then what
Mm.
happens? You start to forget about it because you're just in the dance. You're listening to the melody. Your body knows what to do, and you're not having to focus on like, how am I breathing? Do I need to? You don't have to focus on every little micro movement. Your body's just in it. Accents are the very, very same, and it all comes from play because that's what we did as kids. We just
Yeah.
forget how to do that as adults.
Yeah. And it's a shame.
Yeah,
Really a shame. Because, you know,
yeah. It's a better way of learning anything. It's like when we were kids, we just used to watch people. We'd play around with it, try to do it, go about our day. We wouldn't spend all day trying to do it. That's how we learned to walk. That's how we learned to do everything.
yeah. Yeah. So has a role ever helped you understand yourself or others more deeply?
Yes. So obviously, as actors, we sometimes have to go to places that maybe aren't so nice,
No.
and they can be triggering.
Mm.
Over the years, I've done quite a few different roles. I've also done a lot of work on myself, done a lot of therapy. I did a role, I want to say about 2 years ago, and I went into it going, yeah, absolutely brilliant, no problem. This is a really gritty role, and there was one scene, and I didn't realize until I was in it how triggered I was, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh, what do I do? Because it raised something in me that I hadn't faced in quite
Mm,
that I thought I had faced. And the other individual characters in it as well were going through their own stuff, but how I was interacting with them, I was now like, oh, okay, this is a problem. So I went and I was on set. I called my therapist. I did actually call my therapist. I was like, okay, I need you to just talk me through this. And he was like, just remember your breathing, all your stuff and your mindset, all of that. And what I did was I went back and opened myself up completely to the role, to the emotions that were coming into it. Like I leaned into it completely. I went to the dark place, and it was probably one of the most therapeutic roles
mm,
I've ever been in, because when it comes out, I mean, I'm pretty sure the performance is going to look pretty great. It's going to look very real because it bloody well was. I was living that at the time.
yeah.
And it happens quite a bit to actors, but that's why it's so important when you come out of a role to learn how to shake it off, to learn
Mm,
to take what's you from it, what's not the emotions that you need to carry because they're not yours. But if it is yours and you do get triggered and it does shake you, use it as the opportunity to grow. Use it as the opportunity to learn something about
mm,
yourself and be grateful for that.
yeah.
But always, like, I think with acting, any role is about bookending. So this is who you are going in. You're not you. You're taking on your character traits. You do take a certain element of you, but then when
Hmm.
you're out of the role, it's about bookending that role as well and releasing what you don't need to carry on
Yes.
any forward into your life with you, and but taking the opportunity to grow from it. That took me to some strange places, but it was I trusted myself enough that I could go to those places and then
Mm,
come out the other side, and it did help me reassess parts of my life for sure. Ways in which I used to, like for example, like motherhood. It did involve motherhood. Now I don't personally have kids.
mhm,
I'm quite a vocal spokesperson for endometriosis. That's what I have. So this was all about like children and birth and all that, and it just shook me. And for the first time ever, I was like, did I want kids? Because I never thought that was something. Not that I didn't think I wanted them. It was just never something that was on my radar. Then
mhm.
I was in the middle of this film going, oh no, like wow, okay, I'm having some sort of an existential crisis here, or an identity crisis or something. But I came away
That's
from
only
it going,
natural, you know.
yeah,
We're human beings. Like
but
anything can happen. Like
that's
can
it.
trigger us.
Yeah, but it's about evolving as well. Like I think when you're starting out as an actor, you're going to be different every year, every 5 years, every 10 years, certainly. So when
Hmm.
something like that does come up, I think it's a privilege to be able to test yourself like that and to take it might feel like a slap across the face when you're doing it, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing because it allows you to explore yourself on a level that maybe you wouldn't have access to if you weren't in that role, because maybe
Hmm.
you never go there in your own personal life. So it was a real eye opener for me, and it was yeah, it
Yeah, the things you're avoiding sometimes,
yes, absolutely,
they're
absolutely.
waiting for you.
Oh yeah, they'll always come out some way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what has been your honest opinion about the people from the industry
In terms
in
of,
general? Like, um, you know, if they are friendly in a good way when or if it's the competition that always, they have second thoughts or they're hiding their feelings.
I
They're
think
like,
I think honestly, it's all of those things. So when I meet people or I'm in any sort of situation, I see everyone and everything through the lens of, is this a blessing, a lesson, or a test? And I
"Hmm,
think that very much so applies to the people in the industry. I say that to everyone, even like actors who are quite young and they're coming up through the ranks. I always say, pick your tribe carefully. You want to surround yourself with the
is
right.
it always easy? Like, is it always your choice? Because there
No,
were a lot of times that I was surrounded by people that I didn't really like, but
yeah. Oh, I've had to work
I
with
had
people.
to. Like,
Yeah, you're always going to have to work with people that you don't like. There's people that I categorically don't like, but as professionals, we have to just kind of put
yeah, and it's not, I like and I don't like. It's
them.
who you respect because of his attitude or,
I think we're a lot more empowered now than maybe we have been in previous years, because now We know we can say no to certain things. We know we can stand up and say, actually, that's not okay, and our voice will be heard. So
Uh-huh.
I think from that, there's been a massive change in the industry. I think there's always going to be huge dishonesty because everybody is your competition and
Uh-huh.
everybody sees you as their competition. So there's always going to be an element of people are always going to want something from you. What can they get from you? Or how can you be of use to them? There's a lot of egos in this industry, and there's a lot of people who just, I say if you walk into a room, like I was on stage recently and I was looking around the room, and in my head, it was like 25% of the people here are here to support me and they genuinely want me to do well.
Uh-huh.
25% of the people don't want to be there and they're figuring out their own shit. They're not even aware really that they're there. 25% of the people sitting there want you to fail. They want you to they want it all to go to absolute tatters for
Yes.
you. And the last 25% are looking at you going, what can I get from her? How can
Uh,
she be useful to me? So I think there's always going to be a mixed bag. Sometimes, like in the case with my friend, I found out too late that he wasn't a good person. But I think there's so much beauty in this industry. There's so many beautiful people. There's
uh,
always going to be sharks in the water. There's always going to be sharks in the
always.
water. You just kind of get better at spotting them. But that's why it's so important to protect your own peace, protect your own mindset, and you develop that discernment. You can kind of see through a lot of the bullshit when people are saying it. Like you can kind of start to, your radar goes off and it's like, no, not today. Or I see what you're doing. And
Yeah.
sometimes we have to play that game ourselves. Like you're smiling and nodding at someone going, I really don't like you, but okay, I have to work with you. But that's okay too. But it's about who you let close to you.
Yeah.
Because
And as you get older, I think it's a blessing because
yeah.
it's easier for you to recognize
Yes.
those people.
Absolutely. You do. You kind of start to listen to your instincts and your gut a little bit more. And say,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, not
They
today.
say, I'm older than you think.
I see
So
you.
watch out. Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
So
I
how
get
do you deal with the constant pressure to succeed?
So what is success? Like
What is success?
who are you doing this for? Like that, because people say this to me all the time, like, they're chasing the next thing, they're chasing the next thing. Like I'm an actor first and foremost for me.
Uh, yeah.
And my level of success is against my barometer is against myself. Like where was I last year? Where was I the year before that? I'm so busy watering my own garden that I don't see anybody else's. So I'm not comparing my level, even in life, I'm not comparing my level to anybody else's. So my level of success is, am I happy with what I'm doing? Am I
Uh,
giving it my all? Like, am I doing what I can? Do I have my plan? It's not always going to work. I fail and fall on my face so much,
of
but
course.
it's about looking forward. And to me, sometimes when it's really bad, like when there's no auditions or it's really super quiet, those days where I can get up and be like, do you know what? Keep going. That to me is a massive success. So that's what
It
my
is.
barometer of success is. Success to other people is are they out there winning awards or like their only level of success is if they're booking roles back to back to back to back. And I think that's that can be what hurts you because when the roles stop coming, when they're not as frequent, where
Yeah. As
you're
you're used to. Yeah.
yeah, you're going through a patch of more and more rejections, that can be when you start to question yourself. So
Yeah.
to me, success is like I'm in this industry a long time. I 90% of my day is rejections or nothing at all. The fact that I stay going is a success to me. So yeah, I think it's about your own definition of success, what it means for you and why you're doing this. There's a lot of actors who when you sit them down and ask them, why are you an actor? It's
Uh,
about it's about the external validation or
yeah.
it's about the feedback that they're getting from other people. If you're not self-validating, you're handing over the power of your validation to other people, and that's
Uh-huh.
always gonna come back to you as a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it will never be enough, even if you get the validation, if you don't give it to yourself, then it's never
Absolutely.
going to be enough.
No, never.
Because we want to accept ourselves.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the thing, we're always looking outside, but
That's
inside is the problem. Like, you
if
are
your
the problem.
if you when you go to bed at night, I say this to my students as well. If you go to bed at night and inside your head you're at war, you've already lost. Like your head should be your safe space. You, no matter what you're doing in life, should be your biggest champion.
Yeah.
Because out there's going to be any number of people trying to tear you down, trying to rip you
For
apart
whatever reason,
for
right?
whatever reason, be their own fragile ego, but sometimes they're just not aware that there's
Mm-hmm.
a human attached to the email that they're about to send. But if inside of you, like, because I say that I've said it quite a bit on talks before, like when the chips are down, when things are bad, nothing's gone right. Let's say no rolls, bank balance is at a minus, and things are really bad. I might have a little cry about it. I might be like, well, this is crap. I might have a little cry about it.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit tension, yeah.
Yeah, but I believe in myself that no matter what the world throws at me, I know I'm going to get back up. I know I'm going to keep going, and I know each time I'm going to come back stronger. I can't remember that quote, and I don't want to butcher it, but it's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the truth of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's your relationship with yourself. Like your most important relationship in life is the one you have with yourself. I
Yes.
absolutely believe in that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, a word can make you feel happy or at peace with yourself.
That's it. I
Uh,
mean, you could be booking all the roles all the live long day, doing really, really well. But you could, if someone is at war with themselves or they don't know themselves or they've lost themselves, nothing's ever going to be enough to fill that void. Nothing's ever, that's why there's so much addiction in this industry.
mhm.
There's so much escapism
Yeah,
because, yeah, you might be on paper doing quite well and everyone thinks everything's great, but deep down, you're not doing so
yeah.
great. You're
Mm,
on yourself. You're by yourself. You're broken. And
yes.
that it doesn't really matter what's happening on the outside. Once that's not working in here, it's going to absolutely impact everything else.
So if I asked you, like, if you ever had to hide any parts of yourself in order to be accepted in the industry, you would definitely say no, right?
Hide yourself.
Yeah, to hide like parts of yourself.
I think when I was starting out, I've hidden parts of my life because I thought I had to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the age now where and I say this with absolute respect to the industry and everybody in it and the people in my life. I don't care what people think about me. I really, in the most kindest, most respectful way, I genuinely don't care because I love who I am
Yeah.
myself. I've put a lot of work into myself. The mistakes I've made, the mistakes I will make. I love me for me. Starting out, I didn't have such a strong mindset, and I felt I had to be in a certain mold. Like you had to be a certain way, or like you couldn't. The thing when I was starting with that was always about your age. Like they needed to think that you were younger. Like you needed to
Oh
be
yeah, always. Yeah, yeah.
all of that. And there was then as I was getting older, there was the stigma of, especially with endometriosis. Randomly enough, people would judge you like, well, why don't you have kids? It's like,
Mhm.
you know,
Why are you're not married? Why?
I said to someone one day when they turned around and said that to me, like, why don't you have kids? I was like, why don't you have hair? Because he was a bald man. I was like, how do you feel about being asked that?
It's
But
the same question here in Greece, that
yeah,
actors ask each other. And where are you now? What are you doing? Huh?
Jay, what are you
Yeah,
in?
what are you doing? I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, my life's great, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
none of your business. But
Huh.
that's the thing. Like I think, yeah, starting out certainly I would have hidden the fact that I had
Huh.
endometriosis for sure because there was a lot of weird stigma to that. But
Yeah.
now, like, everything is so much more diverse and open now, which is incredible. But also, if you're hiding any part of yourself, you're only doing yourself a disservice.
Hmm.
And if you're uncomfortable within yourself, or you think people wouldn't like that element, it means you're not fully comfortable with
Yes.
you. No one should be making you hide any part of you. No, like within reason. I'm not talking about like crazy off the wall stuff, but but I'm talking about nobody has a right to tell you to hold back who you are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think we've all gone through that. I think up and coming actors now probably feel a little bit more empowered because that's the way the world is at the moment, which is better. It's they know they have their rights, they know they're free to be them, and that's a beautiful thing. Whereas it wasn't always that way.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard quite a bit.
So what do you tell yourself on the days that self-doubt gets really loud or it doesn't anymore?
Oh, it does. I had my poor partner, my suffering partner, who has to deal with me when I'm having bad days. But I always say like I don't. I would never ever preach something that I haven't practiced myself. And everything that I say to people is from the days where I am just down in the depths. And there was even I was driving my car last week, and in part it was probably hormones too, but I'd had a rejection from a big role that I really, really wanted and I really worked for, and it was horrible. I was also having like an endometriosis flare up, and I was like, there's been a lot of upheaval and change in my life lately. And I was driving along, and that voice creeped in, going like, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this?" And it lingered for a couple of days longer than it normally would,
Mhm.
and that's okay. I always say to people like, it's okay to not be okay. Like
Yeah,
having a healthy mindset, being strong in yourself is not about the absence of the bad days. It's about catching yourself when you're in those bad days and going, okay, what's in my control? What's not in my control? Breathing, that's in my control. A rejection from a role that I wanted, not in my control. Getting up and taking care of myself, be that going for a walk, going to the gym, or talking about it, that's in my control. My one of my negative traits, let's say, personality traits, is my mindset has always been when there's a problem, I close off. I go
Mhm.
into myself. And it's taken me a couple of years to learn to open up and
It's open up, yeah.
talk about the
Yeah.
problem and acknowledge the problem. But
Mhm.
it is about on those days how you treat yourself. There's always going to be times in life that you're going to have those moments of like, I want to scream, I want to cry, I'm not okay. And it's important to acknowledge those and accept those days as well, because nobody gets through this life unscathed. You can't. You absolutely can't. It's not about being happy and positive like you see on social media, people being like, oh, this is great.
Oh, everything is fine, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely not. We all have our absolute shit days,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, when I have those days, I've built up the repertoire now that I know the cycle. I know when I'm in it. If it's particularly bad, I will allow myself to sit in it for. I always give myself a count, like a time span. It's like, okay, you get 2 days, two
Mhm.
days, 2 days to sit in the pajamas, eat the chocolate, eat the pizza, watch the crap TV, and cry. You're only getting 2 days of that. Then I take myself out and like, okay, what's my plan? Because I love myself enough that I'm not going to allow myself to get dragged down by that. I've worked
Mhm.
too hard to be where I am. I know this is just a blip. I know this is reactionary to something that's happened. So what do I need to look at? Maybe I need to take more vitamins from my hormones. Maybe I need to get out, get more air, or maybe I just need to talk about it. But it's about recognizing those days, allowing myself to sit in it, and then taking yourself out of it. There's no shame if you're in a position where you can't get yourself out of it. Love yourself enough to go and get the help that you need. I always encourage people, go get therapy. I think everyone should do therapy. It's one of the best things you can do for yourself. There's no shame in it. It's like if you have an illness, you're going to go to the doctor, get the medicine that you need. Do that for yourself. I don't know why there's a stigma to that. I always say that to people, if you're going to therapy, it just shows that you love yourself. It
Yeah.
shows you're taking care of yourself. You're not always going to be able to pull yourself out of that funk, and that's okay. That's okay. Go
Yeah,
get the
you're not superhuman, you're not a robot, you.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't you? If you love yourself, go and get the help that you
Yeah.
need.
And sometimes things change. You
Yeah.
never know how to deal with new problems or anything.
Life happens. Life happens to
Yeah,
everyone.
that happens. So what's something you wish somebody had told you when you were just starting out in the business, in the industry?
I wish someone had told me or asked me, why am I an actor?
Oh.
Because when I was starting out, like you're wanting to impress everybody. You want
Mhm.
to do your best. And that's kind of when you start to take on other people's opinions of who you are as an actor, what your style of acting
Yeah.
is. For the first, like I lost myself for quite a few years. I wish someone had just sat me down and said, okay, who are you as an actor? Why are you doing this? What's what's your goal? Like what's your style of acting? And just made me sit with myself because I didn't know. You go to drama school, some people don't, but you go out into the big bad world, you're getting put forward for these roles. You have no idea what your strength is
Mhm.
as an actor, what your style is, or why you're doing this. Like why you're an actor. I'm an actor because I am an actor. That's who I am. It's a massive, massive part of my world. I'm a creative. This is my outlet. But I listened quite a while to getting pushed in the direction as an actor because people thought that that suited me better and it didn't suit me. So then for a number of years, I thought I was just a really terrible actor. because I was doing these roles, I wasn't enjoying them, I wasn't getting good feedback, and I was like, am I just a bad actor? But it was because I didn't know myself as an actor,
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was that I wanted. So if someone had to sit down with a mirror, just held it up to me like, who are you as an actor? What do you want?
What is that you love so much in acting?
For me, acting is not just a job. It's
Mm.
it's it's a passion. And I've always done it. Like I love people watching. You know, if you're like at an airport or something, like one of my favorite things in the world to do is just watch people.
Watching people, yeah.
Yeah. And imagine their lives. Like, how did they get there? What's this all about? And that whole thing. But then I start to take on their mannerisms. And it's almost like you get to be all of these different people. They're not you, but you get to experience all of these different lives
Mm-hmm.
effectively as your job.
Yeah.
And it's a creative outlet. Like for me, even with writing or singing or performing, whatever it is, it's an outlet, and it's how I express myself in this world. Like I couldn't draw a picture to save my life. You know, some people are like super creative. I can't even do a stick man, but it's my mark. It's how I'm going to leave my mark on the world.
Mm.
It's what makes my soul sing. Like going out on set, morphing into this completely different person, living this completely different existence, and experiencing that character momentarily. That's what makes my soul sing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Because I think that many of us become actors because deep down we just want and need to be seen.
Hmm.
You know,
It's
we
fun.
crave for love, for attention. I think that was the case for me.
Yeah, it's funny, and I think that's what makes actors so versatile as well. It's because, and sometimes that's what it is. Like you come from a childhood where you felt invisible,
Hmm.
felt like
Yeah.
you weren't heard, or I think a lot of the time it's when we're still trying to figure out who we are as people because our whole lives we've been put into boxes that we didn't quite fit.
Hmm.
So, some of the most incredible actors are like 30, 40, 50 year olds still trying to figure out where they sit. But it's when we were in school, like when I was in school, like I disappeared into the walls. Like I don't think they even knew my name in school. Like I just disappeared. I was this shy, terrified little thing, like most of the time. But then as I got older, it was like I knew I was different to everybody else. Like
Yes.
what the other kids were doing just didn't suit me. So then I was in martial artists, martial arts. I was into swimming, Irish dancing, scuba diving, all these different things. And everyone's like, "Oh, you've got so many different interests." I was trying to find who
Yourself.
I was,
Why?
and then acting was like, "You can do all of these things anytime," and it doesn't mean that you have to make a different lifestyle choice. It doesn't mean you have to like start your life over because typically, if you're in a job, let's say you're a lawyer and you want to go be a doctor, okay, you're going to have to go a completely different career. Whereas with acting, it's like you can dip in and out and try all these different things that maybe you didn't get a chance to do when you were younger or you weren't confident enough to do when you were younger, you know?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, what lessons from acting do you think that can help anyone in life?
Oh, the thing, the thing with acting, the funny thing is with acting, even though it's outward and we're portraying stuff for an audience and it's all outward, 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 I think
Is it is it outward? Because I think that it's so in and in
but
all the
that's what
time.
I mean. Yeah, like
Yeah,
what the job itself is like we're portraying a character for other people to see. But I think the biggest lessons with acting is what it does to you and
to you.
how you see yourself, what you learn about yourself along the way. So I think the biggest lesson is that with every character that you do, with every project that you're on, with every milestone that you hit, it does change you.
Yeah.
It changes you like as a person as well. And
Hmm.
I think it's listening and learning from those lessons. Like, because the actor I was when I started out, like I was much, I don't want to say my age, I'm very nearly said my age, but if I was much younger, but I was a bit pompous. Like I was, confident, like I've got this. I'm just
There we go.
like too cool. Like I'm just too cool. But then learning, like it humbles you. That's one thing about this industry. It will humble you. But it's learning and growing with
Mm,
with the lessons that you're learning along the way
yes.
and embodying that in yourself, like how I interact with people now, how I carry myself now, is a direct result from the just the opportunities and the changes from the projects that I've been on. I've learned them like over the last 10 plus years. Like who I was back then is not absolutely not who I am now, and that's a direct relation from everything that I learned from acting.
Definitely. Yes. 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 So, what would you say to someone struggling with online comparison and pressure?
Comparison is the thief of joy. So always remember social media, it's an important tool, it's a powerful tool, it is cultivated. There are very few people on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever it is, without a filter on and showing you their worst day. Because those videos don't go very far. Nobody wants to see that. What we do see is perfection, perfectly edited, brilliantly lit, filtered videos. So you're sitting at home comparing your worst day, your difficult day, your shitty mood. You're comparing that to someone's cultivated perfect day on social media. It's not real. It's not real. It's fake. I mean, some of the biggest stars on there, like, yes, okay, it might be their life now. They do earn money from social media content, but it's their brand. So they've got a team behind them. They've got like makeup artists, they've got lighting, they've got editors. Like it's their brand. It's their job to present super well online. It's not just someone sitting at home in their room looking like that, sounding like that, with that big following. So you're comparing apples and oranges. It's just remembering that social media is fake. Like there's a lot of people now.
I mean, the biggest percentage, is
Yeah,
fake.
but a lot of what's happening now, there's a wave on TikTok. People are doing videos and then they're removing the filter. Now they're absolutely beautiful as they are, they're natural as they are. But the reaction to that, people were so shocked. It's like, no, but have we just forgotten what humans look like, or how we
Our
move?
skin looks like.
Yeah, skin actually looks like, yeah, it's
See all
crazy.
this flawless skin.
Yeah, it's remembering like, and also there's a lot of people have had a lot of work done. You know, like I like a bit of a tweak every so often, but there's a lot of people there, like with you're up against Botox, you're up against fillers, you're up against like dentures. It's remembering. It's just kind of giving yourself a reality check. Like this isn't real. This isn't real life.
Yeah.
You know, don't be comparing your worst day, your worst moments, your lowest moments to a filtered fake world.
True. So, what practical tools do you use to stay grounded?
So for me, when I need to recharge, I get outside. I am one of those people that I need nature. I need trees. If it's just water or forest, whatever it is, it's just getting out and going for a walk. What keeps me level is I do go to the gym. That is one thing I've always done. I always train. And it's just if I'm in a really bad mood, go and lift something heavy and move it somewhere else. That's literally what I do. Or I'll go for a walk.
Lifting weights.
Oh yeah. I have to do it. If I don't do it, I can feel myself kind of getting a little like I need
It
to do
helps
it.
me so much with my anxiety.
Same. That's one of the things. That's why I started going to the gym like years ago was to manage my anxiety. Because when you're working out, like obviously you're getting the endorphins, you're getting the dopamine going, but you're breathing differently. But it's pulling you back into your body. Because I think most of the time, I think a lot of us go around like a little helium balloon. So we're all up in our heads and our body's long like a little noodle, not doing anything. So exercise brings you back into your body. Once you're back in your body, that mind body connection is kind of restored. And that's what keeps you grounded because it's very easy to get caught up in all the madness and all the, I have to do this, and this, or like, what about this, or comparing yourself to this person, that person, the other. You're forgetting your connection with your body, with yourself, and like breathing, meditation. Like, I know when people used to say that to me, like, oh, meditate. The first thing that they used to say
It's
was
not
like,
easy for everyone. I
yeah.
love meditating, but I understand that it's not easy for everyone.
But that's the thing, like the first thing that put me off meditation years ago was someone said, clear your mind. Like, how? How do you do that? How does someone clear their mind? I couldn't understand how someone could have a quiet mind. Like no one had told me that before. But then this breathing should be taught in schools. Like breathing absolutely should be taught in schools because it's something we quite literally forget how to do. And it's sometimes something that's so simple as just taking the time to breathe, to come back to yourself, to steady your heart rate, get out of fight or flight mode, will give you that moment of clarity to maybe see a situation a little differently. But for being grounded, like there was stages where I went straight from really intense schedule, a production. I bounced like the following morning over to the Berlinale Film Festival, which is absolute chaos. It's insane. It's so intense. And I came back then to the UK. I was doing another project straight away. Like, so I was all over the place. I had no time for the gym, no time to do absolutely anything. And I could feel the stress building. I could feel I was disconnected from myself. So the only thing I could do in a hotel room was quite literally sit and breathe. So I'd sit in the bath or in the shower and just breathe, do some breathing
Great.
exercises just to get my body out of fight or flight because I could feel the cortisol and all had built up. And then it was anytime I could, I would just, for me, sit in silence. Just sit, like sit outside, listening to the birds. Like I was in New York at one point, it's such a loud city. And it's like, just try to listen to the birds. That's what brings me back to myself is getting out, getting for a walk, taking a break from the phone, put the phone down,
Yes,
close
yes,
the
definitely
laptop, yeah, get away from the internet, get away from social media and just
helps a
take
lot. Yeah.
a digital detox at least once a week if you can, especially when you're super stressed. But on the most simplest scale, it's just getting outside, going for a walk, you
hmm
know,
hmm
cuddling my dog.
Yeah, yeah,
Simple
yeah.
things, but it's about taking a step back from all the noise.
It's not always easy because for me, when I get those panic attacks, well, it's hard for me to breathe, to relax. Uh, it's really difficult to manage the stress. But if you if you work on it, like it's like a muscle, as you said. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. So
Absolutely. Like panic attacks are so scary as well. Like it's the fear, it's the panic, and it immediately kicks you into fight or flight. Absolutely.
mm,
I've had many. The thing that I do now is when I can start to feel it coming on, it's it's accepting that it's coming on. It's like, okay, I know what this is. This is familiar to me. I know exactly what it is.
mhm,
Everything that you're enduring, every stimulus that triggers you, the whole thing, the important thing is trying to get your body out of fight or flight. Because when you're in fight or flight, you're all up the short breathing, that gives the heart palpitations, that kicks off the anxiety. That's what gets us all up in our head. And it's doing little things to try and stave that off even a little bit. So for me, when things are absolutely completely chaotic and it's kicking in, it's like, okay, I know what this is. I know it's a cycle. Okay,
mhm,
so we're in it. I can feel the mad breath. So then I'll start to picture it was actually my partner taught me this 4-8. So it's inhale through your nose for 4, exhale through your nose for 8. But as you're doing it, acknowledge the thoughts that are racing around your head. It's like, okay, there's a thought. Come
mhm,
back to counting, but visualize the numbers in your brain. It's a little bit of work for the first couple of seconds when you're trying to do it.
yeah,
But just it's not about like saying the thoughts aren't there or the panic isn't there or any of that. It's not about any of that. It's going back to the numbers. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't. That's a thought. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. I'm picturing the numbers. When I'm picturing the numbers, it starts to distract and disrupt that neural pathway that's
yeah,
engaged in that panic attack. What that ultimately does is gives you control over your breathing again, but it's starting to pull you out of fight or flight and starting to bring your breathing back to a normal cadence. And that will help to ease the panic attack. It starts to help to ease the anxiety buildup.
yeah.
You'll still have the associated emotions, absolutely, but it's just about getting your body out of that immediate adrenaline rush that you're getting and the cortisol flush, all those things. Just picturing the numbers 4-8, in for 4, out for 8 through the nose.
I think it was such a beautiful conversation. Thank you so, so much for being here.
Thank you
And
so much for having me.
I hope to see you very soon. Huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Anytime.
anytime. Great. Okay. Okay. That's a promise. So until next time, take care of yourselves. Stay true to who you are. And remember, ego was here. You were here. And that's enough.